Hey, there we go.
All right. Hello and welcome to Pals Pulls. I am Sean, your host. I'm joined this week. We're missing Marco, but that's okay. I am joined by Tyler
Hello, I'm not Jeff Johns. Sorry.
and Kale.
What's up, hot dogs? I am also not Jeff Johns.
As it turns out, I'm not Jeff Johns either. But
Oh, you almost fooled me.
I know we have a striking resemblance. If you missed our interview with Jeff Johns, you should go watch it. A lot of people have chosen to do so. We're still riding pretty high off of that. It's been quite a week. We'll talk more about that on the main show. This is where we review the week's comics. We like to call this show Pals Pulls. Do this every single week, normally on Thursdays. Today we are doing it on Wednesday because we have a huge week coming up with New York Comic Con. We will be in Artist Alley every day from open to close, pretty much. So if you see us, come say hi. We'll have interviews coming from there. Our social media pages will have a whole bunch of content all week. We'll be posting snippets of interviews with creators, pictures of cosplay, us getting up to shenanigans, all that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun. So go ahead and follow us on Twitter and Instagram if you want to keep up with us.
Sean, you ready
Some
for it?
of us will be there.
Oh,
I was Kale, I was tempted just to get like a small little frame of you and just put your picture in it. Like I have this apocalypse sketch,
Yeah.
just like something small like that. Just a little.
Yeah, should do
Chaos
like a traveling stick man or whatever.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Brody Marshall, hello. Thanks for watching. Says, would you be surprised if Avengers Life Story was announced at Comic Con? I wouldn't be surprised, but I think that's a
Oh,
great idea.
I like that idea.
Mm.
Brody,
Yeah.
who do you want? Who do you want to write that? You want a Chip on that? You want Mark Russell on that, or you want a new guy on that one? I like that idea though.
Chip did Spider-Man. Who did Fantastic Four?
Mark Russell.
Russell.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's good. It's good.
I think I'd want Busick. I think he would nail that
Ooh.
down.
Oh, okay, Kale.
What are you, a Busick fan or something?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Makes sense. Also, if you want to watch this show live, we are live every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/the Comics Pals. Make sure you guys leave us a follow if you choose to watch us live. Saturdays, typically at 10 a.m. Eastern. This Saturday, though, we will not be doing the main show. We'll be doing it on Sunday at 6 or 7. We're still not sure. p.m. Eastern. On Sunday, we'll be talking to you guys about all of our experiences at New York Comic Con and the week's news. You know, all the stuff that comes out of the event, stuff that happens this week. We'll be covering all of that when we go live on Sunday. Yeah, I mean, Matt, we had to. We didn't pick it. It wasn't chosen by us. It was chosen by the listeners.
We
You know,
have
bastards.
we have to be we have some integrity we need to keep. What's
Right.
the three eyes there? Do you know the three
I'll
eyes?
get rid
Sean?
of him.
The integrity, intelligence, and intensity.
There we go.
Yeah, I believe it's intensity, integrity, intelligence. But yeah. YouTube.com/the Comics Pals. Subscribe for free. Like the video, share it with your friends. All that's free to do, and it helps us out a lot more than it costs you. I right now am staring at our subscriber number, and it is at 665. And I have been waiting
One more.
for that one more because I want to take a picture of it. I'm excited. And thank you to everybody who has chosen to follow us over the last week. It's been really cool. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for joining. Our Blackest Night book club is out now. So go give that a listen. If you're still thinking about Jeff Johns, we did a book club on one of his greatest events ever. So give that a listen. Now, let's talk about the books we're reviewing this week. We've got Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 5. So we are rocketing towards a conclusion.
Oh, that's a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean. Was that a choice?
This was a
Okay.
choice, yes. I
always-
was
I
not.
No
Yeah, I
one
always
forced
pegged
upon
as-
you.
Yeah.
Not
I always
this time.
pegged you as like an A cover event guy. You know what I mean?
I
that's
very
how
much
was.
am.
Yeah.
I very much am. But The A cover, I don't feel like they had it.
Oh, so then it wasn't your choice.
That's right. I guess so. Yeah. 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 I don't think they had it because I definitely wouldn't have. Like, I wouldn't have chosen this over the A. So
Sure.
yeah.
I'm the same way with event books. I'm always getting the A cover, and like
Yeah.
I have some runs. What was it? It's House of X, where I have like a B or a C. I actually have a special variant. I have the Cyclops one, the Mark Brooks
Dude.
Cyclops one, which looks nice, but like the OCD in me is like, oh fuck, you know.
I'm gonna admit something right now. When it comes to events, if I really like the B cover or the C or whatever, I'll buy two.
Hey,
I buy the A for sure, and then I might double dip.
If it's
Kale,
good, I mean,
do you know what covers the Fonz picks up, Cal?
is it the A?
Unreal.
Thank you.
Unreal. Matt, technically it was two listeners. Believe me, we would have chosen differently. Gotham City Year 1, Issue 1. Everybody's excited about that. The listener pick this week, the most controversial listener pick yet. If you're on our Discord server, which you really should join, you'll have seen some of this unfold. We are reading Dark Crisis, The Deadly Green, #1.
Sure are.
Yep.
Sure
And
did, I guess.
and Spider-Man #1. Why is this called Spider-Man #1?
Why isn't it called Spider? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It's
Why?
'cause-
Spider-Man.
Isn't it? I mean, it's chapter 1 of the Spider-Verse event, right? So is this going to be an ongoing?
Yeah. This is a new ongoing, I believe.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
was.
this is
We'll
a new
talk about
Dan
it, but I was
Slott
just
thing.
confused by
Hmm.
that whole thing. It's like it's the first issue of an event, but it's the first issue of the book. It's just a lot. Also, I wanted to say, before we review a single comic book, my pick of the week this week is not any of the books that we read.
Oh,
It is Junkyard Joe, #1. We spoke to Jeff. We had a great conversation with Jeff Johns. We read this book a long time ago, but it's finally out. It's absolutely amazing. Speaking of double dipping, I double dipped on Junkyard Joe. I grabbed the black and white edition. The proceeds go to two great charities across the United States and the United Kingdom. So I picked up both. They're phenomenal. Go buy it. It's good stuff. All right. Let's jump into our first review of the night. We've got Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths #5. This is Joshua Williamson doing the writing duties here. Daniel Samper on art. Alejandro Sanchez did the colors, and of course Tom Napolitano on the letters. So this event, I feel like, has been great throughout. I have been high on it on this podcast. I think with this issue, so this issue sees the heroes of Earth kind of unite once again, deciding we're gonna go out in our swords and we're gonna take on Deathstroke and, you know, come what may. Meanwhile, the Justice League that died allegedly have all woken up from their perfect worlds, the dreams they've been having on their perfect worlds, and they're ready to take on Pariah. That's pretty much what happens in this issue. And I gotta say, I'm a little cooler on this than I have been. I didn't love this issue. I liked it a lot, but I didn't quite love it.
It's kind of funny because I'm the opposite. I'm like, oh, I'm warming up to it now. We've been literally opposites on this whole series, I think.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, oh, I feel like stuff's actually happening now. Stories are intertwining a bit. Like for me, this whole event really has just been like a Samper kind of tour de force. For me, I'm like, oh, I understand why this guy got the book. This guy's freaking good. Even though stuff is happening in this, like we finally get the Justice League kind of back on the chessboard as players again. It is a bit wibbly wobbly, timey wimey a bit with the multiverse. It's like none of this really means anything.
Yeah, I kind of had trouble following what was happening with them.
In
Okay.
the Justice League specifically.
Yeah, with the Justice League specifically. I mean the Titan stuff and everybody being a Titan is pretty straightforward, but like with whatever happens to Tom Welling Superman here, like uh I didn't get it. Why is he stars?
Why is he? Oh, like why did he? Yeah, that's like I'm first of all, I'm referring to that as Infinite Superman. That's the language I'm choosing to use for this
That's just
guy.
Captain Universe.
Captain Universe
Yeah.
Superman. Why did that happen? Because Superman's really upset. He's tapped into the power of this world that was created out of his energy, and he is going to use that to, put an S in Pariah's ass. That's what's going to happen here.
Mm.
But they don't explain it beyond that. There's no real explanation to it. It just kind of is what it is, which is weird. But
And
uh
he gets chumped out too pretty quick, right? Like,
does he?
oh no, we don't see what happens. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah,
quite.
no, there's just a big old.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
I think that's
Right.
kind of one of my issues with this book. It's like there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens, but like substance, not really there. You know what I mean?
In this DC comic,
No,
Mm.
no. It just feels a little lifeless, which is weird because you have so many big characters. Even like the stuff like that Marco liked, and I think the stuff you liked, Sean, in the previous issues were the quiet moments and the moments
Yeah.
where the characters got to shine. Outside of like the big Titans assemble, or what's the battle cry? Did I get that right?
well, it should be Titans together,
Okay.
but the one in this book is like we're all Titans or
We're
some
we're
shit.
the Titans. Someone does say Titans together. Actually, Beast Boy says it.
Oh, okay. Who honestly looks kind of cool with an eye patch, even though his tiger form doesn't have one.
He has an eye patch. Oh yeah, he has an eye patch, and then it goes away when he becomes the tiger. Yeah, that was pretty sick. Swampy Nihilist just here to say, haha, Kale hashtag keep it swampy. All right, well, if you're gonna troll us, the least you could do is follow. Um.
And
Anyway,
we can leave that there.
fair enough. Yeah, like I agree with that, Tyler. The book doesn't have as many quiet moments. I really like the Titan stuff. I thought that was good. I was gearing up to really like the Superman scene, but it didn't hang enough. Like I was waiting for him to say something that really caught me or something of that nature, but it didn't quite happen. If you read the tie-in, The Worlds Without a Justice League Superman, then hopefully this scene has a little bit more resonance for you because we know what he's losing. We know that in that world he gets to borderline retire. I mean, there's never a retirement, but like John becomes, or at least I interpreted it as John becomes like the Superman. And the way that, Ma and Pa Kent watched Clark go off and, be that person, Clark and Lois kind of watch John go off and do that. And he's happy. And we know that he's giving that up to go and be who he needs to be. And that's supposed to feel like something. But I think because we didn't see that in this comic book, it loses a bit of that resonance, even as someone who read the tie-in.
Well, even Superman kind of like erases that. He's like, it's not real.
Right.
So if it's not real, then what are the stakes? Like what? Like,
Mm.
and I think that's my main core issue with this whole series. It's like the stakes are confusing. Like what's the worst thing that's going to happen? The multiversity splash page that has been reused multiple times. It gets rewritten and it's now
Is all
useless.
black.
Yeah.
Also, other than just being like nuts, Pariah is doing this because he wants his world back. I really wish there was more gas to that fire. Like
that's his only thing anywhere.
And that's I mean, that's what happened in Infinite Crisis too. That's what Superboy Prime.
Right.
That's what his whole deal was.
Right. It just doesn't feel interesting enough. Um, and one thing I will say, I'm glad I read Swamp Thing before this, because when they ran in with that big ass machine, I was just like, oh, right. Okay. That was from that. Otherwise, I would have been clueless.
I don't know. I,
I
I
mean,
read that.
there's
I read that after, and I went, well, I could have stuck with what I already knew. That editor's note did enough for me.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have thoughts about that book coming up. So
Sure. The Sampere art is phenomenal here as ever. Really great.
He drew in a crazy quilt at one point. I was like, all right, yeah, let's go for it. Yeah,
that's right up your alley, dude.
Yeah, which sucks because like this, like in my animal brain, I do love a good group of heroes fighting against a group of villains. Like just dumb stuff like that. But like that's kind of all this is. And like, no offense to Deathstroke, he does not read big bag to me, Like I know
it's random.
Yeah. Especially after all the stuff in the past couple years where he's kind of an anti-hero, really. It seems a little derivative of what the character is.
It makes sense as like he's the Titans antagonist.
Sure.
But that's it.
If he had something at play, like if they had really built up, like, man, Deathstroke has turned a leaf. He's kind of a good guy. He's got this daughter that he really cares about, and stuff's going better. And then this happens, and part of it is like maybe they don't want to hurt him because he has become a better man, or his daughter's at risk. All of that could have made this a lot more interesting. But a Deathstroke who's just being mind controlled, and everybody's just like, yeah, he's doing Deathstroke stuff because he's a bad guy. Like, there's no oomph there. There's no emotional weight to it. And I think this issue highlighted that fault in the story. Not that the prior issues aren't good, at least to me, but I think that I just don't want this to go out on a whimper, because it ultimately has to be, all right, let's punch each other until one of us can't punch anymore.
And the thing with that too is like the last page is this splash of every absolutely massive threat that any superhero has ever fought, right? You've got the Spectre being controlled in the background, in Doomsday.
Necron
standing right behind. Necron is right there. Darkseid is right there. But leading the charge is Slade Wilson.
Is that the Nuclear Man, the Atomic Man, the Superman villain?
On the left there? I don't know if I've ever seen that guy.
But also, like, there's that one bit in it where, like, Deathstroke's, like, he talks to Ravager, and he's like, all right, I need you to kill Nightwing, which is like, okay, there could be some emotion there. And then we don't get a follow-up. Like, we never see Ravager again. And I don't see how you fit that in the next issue when you have him having to go up against these big bads instead.
I want to give the book the benefit of the doubt that will be an emotional hook, and that maybe Nightwing will be killed and somehow he'll resurrect and have the power to end this war, something like that.
You're telling me they're going to kill Nightwing off after Didio's gone?
But I think he'll be resurrected. Like, I think he'll immediately come back, because we already saw the Brightest Day-esque promotional material for Dawn of DCU.
Yeah.
And we saw Nightwing almost looking like Superman does here. I feel like there will be some kind of
I must have missed the boat on that.
You didn't. Oh, you did. Yeah, you weren't on the show that week. That's right.
Yeah. If I'm on the show that week, I ain't paying attention. Sorry.
Fair enough. I'm gonna pull. I still think this series is strong. I'm a little bit confused. I think the usage of the Great Darkness has been a bust, like flat out. I just don't think that has really amounted to anything, especially for something that has importance to people. Not a lot of people, but Swamp Thing fans certainly.
All three of them.
Yeah. It's an old Legion of Superheroes storyline too.
Right.
So I'm not I was thinking about it. I had to catch up 3 to 5, and was racking my brain trying to figure out what that was. And in the Legion, it's Dark Side.
Which he's already in this.
So
Yeah.
right, and that's the weird part is that in Swamp Thing, it's on just an entity that has no good or evil intention. In Legion, it's Darkseid. Here, it's an entity that's been corrupted by humanity that Pariah's controlling. But how?
Yeah.
We'll
Like
talk
they-
about it.
Sorry?
We'll talk about it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Pull.
Yeah, all right. Let's finish the event.
I'm not gonna pull. No, I'm out. Well, I'm not out. I'll probably be reading it for the show, but like
You would be out.
I would be out, which is saying something because again, event OCD.
Didn't you just say you like this one?
I liked it more,
Okay.
but I was out last time too, so wasn't
You
enough
were-
to bring
well,
me back
yeah.
in.
You were out on AXE.
I'm out on both. Shit, I don't think I like events anymore. Fuck.
No. Hold on. I can't let you say that. You don't like events that aren't high quality.
Yeah, I don't like
if the event's
anymore.
high quality,
Yeah.
I'm trying to rack my brain for like the most recent like high quality event. Ten of Swords.
For me, it might be this.
I think it might be Heroes in Crisis.
stop it. At the very least, I would say, unless you count House of X, which I don't personally as an event, it would be Secret Wars.
Which you're going back what 7 years at this point?
Yeah,
That's so
Yeah.
far.
Hot damn.
that's that. In my opinion, man. Yeah,
So Sean
probably-
Bartley
yeah, you're probably
essentially saying, since Secret Wars events are a gimmick.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right.
It's weird how it changed, but the way they approach events is, I think, from a build up perspective, these events have been handled okay. But from an execution standpoint, they very much feel like, just gimmicks, stuff to do. Speaking of gimmicks, let's talk about Gotham City Year One, Issue 1. I call it a gimmick because using that Year One tag at this point doesn't really have any value. Like, there's a Riddler Year One coming out that's not even based in the comics; it's based in the film verse, the Batman.
Oh yeah, isn't Paul Dano writing that one or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's how he's going to get his start in scripting. He's going to use comics as a platform.
I think he's written other things.
For him.
Has he?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I have no
Good for
proof
him.
of that. I just I got a gut feeling.
So
He looks like he's written other.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like a guy who's written something.
I have no proof he has, and I was just spitballing, quite frankly. But this is written by Tom King with pencils by Phil Hester, inks by Eric Gapster. Can't say I've seen that name before. Jordy Belair on colors and letters by Clayton Cowles. This tells the story of Slam Bradley,
Great name.
Yeah.
who is, I would say he is a cult favorite. Is that fair to say, Slam Bradley?
Deep cut. It's a deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigating one of the earliest mysteries in the history of the Waynes. And
Sorry, I thought you said the Wayans. I'm like, what are the Wayans brothers happen? What happened here?
I think I'd like this comic book more if it did feature the Wayans and Blank Man. That would be awesome.
Blank Man. Fantastic. Movie.
One of the best superheroes that's not owned by Marvel or DC. As you can tell, I was not tremendously high on this. I thought I would care more about the adventures of Slam Bradley, but I'm a little bit bored, quite frankly, of the whole, here's this thing about the Waynes you never knew that's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't blow my mind. There's a dude who dresses up as a bat and beats up people. That blows my mind.
And somehow that's not the weirdest part.
Right. Like that's supposed to be the thing that's the wildest, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't care about these other, like, oh my God, they kidnapped your kid. Wow. That sucks.
Wow. Sean just saying, fuck them kids.
Because guess what? The Joker poisons people every day. One
Smiley faces. It's rough stuff.
One kid. I don't know. I don't mean to be so negative because the craft is good, but I just on concept, I'm not. I don't care.
Well, there's a trick I found to enjoying this. I just view it as a noir, like a noir crime book. That's when I was like, all right, these are Waynes. I don't even know who these Waynes are. And then I started overthinking it. I'm like, when is this set? Because what are these Bruce's great grandparents? They're not his grandparents. And
Whatever they are.
I'm like, oh, then timeline wise, that doesn't make sense. So I was like, fuck it. I don't need to remember all that Batman shit. I'm just gonna take this as a noir crime book. Which honestly, in terms of my favorite comics, might be my favorite genre of comic. Just when I look back at like, all right, what are some of my favorite books? And I think of like Criminal, I think of like Kill or Be Killed, and now I'm just gonna keep naming Brubaker books. But like this is kind of my jam. And then you got Phil Hester on art. Like the bones here are good. And then as I tried it and successfully forgot all the Batman stuff, forgot this was a Gotham book, and I just took it as like a good noir book. Hell, I even got a fucking Roger Rabbit shirt on, like a noir detective book. Batman shows up at the end, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, how did you do that with Harvey Bullock standing next to Slam Bradley the whole time?
It hurts
Somehow.
because I was like, that doesn't line up timeline wise either. All right, I'm gonna forget that too. I can compartmentalize because of therapy.
Must be
But,
nice.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't like I was really looking forward to this, but there's not a ton here. And it's the first issue. It's the first, we get the case. But we don't even get anything about our detective, you know. These Waynes are different from the ones we know, but they look like the ones we know. So I don't know. I wanted it to be a little more Charles Lindbergh kidnapping.
The Lindbergh baby.
Yeah. And it very well could be that, but I don't know. It just didn't hit me the way I wanted it to. And I think it probably will end up better in the long term. I think Tom King stuff usually does, unless your hero's in crisis. But yeah, this just wasn't good enough. This wasn't good enough for me.
And let's talk about that. So, you come in expecting a crime story. We definitely get that. I sort of like the opening where it's like, okay, hey, this woman, this black woman, and that gets into the whole race of the book and all the controversy coming into this book where it's like, oh, there's going to be some language, some offensive language.
Yeah.
The words colored and Negro were the words that were so offensive, just in case you were worried about how bad it was going to be. Really not
Alfred
anything.
Said those words.
Sorry?
I can't believe Alfred said those words. I would have never, pegged him. Jeez.
Really not anything. But the way it opens, where it's like, okay, here's the mystery. 2 pages in, we know what the mystery is. Okay, nice. Or we know that there is a mystery, I should say, not exactly what it is. All right, nice. Send Slam Bradley on a journey. He's got this letter, got to deliver it to the Waynes, and then he gets beat down. And I was like, oh man, I feel like I've seen this 50 million times. And then like the Waynes are jerks. I've seen that 50 million times. Every like out of continuity Batman story wants to portray the Waynes as jerks. I don't get it.
Yeah.
What is it with that? I thought they were supposed to be a good people.
I mean, they can't.
These aren't our Waynes though.
Right, but I always thought it's only the last decade of comics that's taught me that they suck. I thought the lineage of the Waynes was that they were a good force in Gotham. That's what I always thought. And it's like every media now wants to show them sucking. I'm kind of tired of it, especially since every generation of the Waynes is like a stand-in for Bruce's parents. Like they look the same. I don't get it.
Let me tell you a little something about the top 1%, Sean.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah, they all suck. Yeah. In fact, Batman should suck.
But I think I don't want to. We don't have to.
Yeah, no, we can get into it. And I won't get into it. But
that's true. How many rich people do you know about that run around in a bat costume?
I wish I knew any. That'd be awesome.
Then the propaganda machine is working.
You're right. I love Batman. I love Bruce Wayne. But yeah. So they've kidnapped the child of these two ancestors of Bruce, Helena Wayne, and Slam Bradley's got to get this kid back. That's the book. There's nothing wrong with that premise. That's a fine premise. I just feel like this issue was so much set up. It didn't do enough to establish Slam Bradley. Like I don't inherently care about him. I don't know him. So why should I care? He's every crime main character ever. Every mystery main character ever. What's special about this guy? I think about like the Good Asian. Same sort of thing. Like, hey, here's this PI, here's this guy who's going to investigate something, but that guy was interesting. And to me, this guy wasn't exactly compelling. So it was tough for me to get through this one.
Yeah, the most compelling thing about him is that he will take a beating and pick up his pipe again.
And why? Like, show me that he'll do that, but why does he do that? What makes him have to do this?
So his name is Slam.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is he
just take a hit?
Is he angry with himself or something? Did he do something wrong? I think maybe they were setting the seeds for that with him as a cop on the beat, and maybe what he did to black people. But we don't know yet. So this one might be one of those where it's hard to judge it in a vacuum fairly. Maybe I'll like it more in trade, but I find that I don't really care too much for Tom's Gotham stories at this point.
Whoever called Harvey Bullock as the guy to say the warned offensive language, right on the nose. So good call on that one.
Right, like even those like, hey, there's a bat symbol here.
That I didn't like.
He's the original Batman.
Yeah.
No. It's
Doesn't
goofy.
Doesn't make a lick of sense.
No. And it undermines Bruce's idea of the Batman by saying that, oh, hey, here's this thing that someone else came up with many years prior. Nah. I'm gonna pass. The art's good, but it's not enough for me. And I should say, Eric Gapster, first time seeing his inks, perfect vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have found anybody better, but it's not enough.
Yeah, I go back and forth with Phil Hester. I like him a lot. I don't know if I like this Phil Hester.
Interesting. I like this.
There are bits where it's too detailed and it doesn't quite match the style. And then there are bits where it's like just right. And it doesn't always gel the same for me. I don't know if that's, the inks or, just Hester putting in a little bit or, putting in a little bit more and doing a little bit less panel to panel. But yeah, like you say, it's good, but it's not quite enough. I'm out for the trade. I'll wait out the trade on this one.
I think I might be in the same boat in terms of waiting out the trade. I think I enjoyed it the most out of all of us. But I don't like this story on a month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
Like this feels like a better trade in my opinion. And it's Tom King. Like he gets a lot of rope with me, you know. Where like I almost expect there to be some kind of turn away from this cookie cutter kind of noir story. In fact, I hope, but yeah, I expect it. But I don't know if I want to wait month to month. Do we know how long this is? I'm guessing three.
I'm not sure.
Oversized issues.
Not on the book, so I'm not sure.
Publishers, we got to start putting the of whatever back on the books.
Especially if it's a mini series.
Yeah, if it's a mini, please, right?
Yeah. I almost think that they don't do that because the mini series are really potential ongoings most of the time.
Yeah.
Depending on sales. But
okay, let's get out of Gotham and let's get into the swamp. We got Dark Crisis, the Deadly Green.
What swamp? There was
right back into Gotham, baby. Yeah.
Listen,
we're in a ring.
Well, we got to get into the muck talking about this book because there's a lot to dive into. Let's dive into the $6 price tag first of all. DC's got to stop doing this. They just have to. This is nuts. This comic book. Let me look because I'm losing my mind. So Dark Crisis is $6. Okay,
yeah, you're paying per artist for this.
This is an event. This is an event comic, higher price. I get that. This is not. This is a tie-in. It's oversized, but it didn't need to be. We cannot continue to be charged $6 for tie-ins and one-shots. That's just dumb.
Like the company should be paying the artist. Like, why do I have to pay? Why do I personally have to pay the artist?
Or control the page count?
Or I don't know, tell your story in the main book. Let's go there instead.
So this is this has 3 writers on it: Ram V, Alex Packnadel, and Dan Waters. And then we've got 4 artists. Daniel Bayliss did the first 9 pages. Tom Derenick did pages 10 through 17 and 31 through 39. George Cambates did pages 21 through 25, and then Brett Peoples did 18 to 20, 25 to 30, and 40. Did the book really need all of that?
No.
I have to imagine this is a rush job.
When there's this many artists on a book, and you know you're gonna need this many artists because like, oh, this needs to be out in a certain amount of time, yada yada. At least try and keep the artist to be like per a scene. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, there's multiple scenes going like intertwined throughout this. Maybe have somebody do the Constantine stuff. Somebody can do the Alan Scott, Justice League stuff. The other person can be in the ring with Swamp Thing as my cat knocks down my Jar Jar action figure.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. It just the fact that it's so haphazard about who does what just screams like, oh, we just needed this to be out.
Yeah.
I meant it was appropriate that your cat was knocking down your Jar Jar figurine.
Oh no! And he knocked out his gun. I keep my Jar Jar with like an AR-15.
He's got to protect the house.
Yeah. Jar Jar wasn't even checked mentally for this. America. But
so this issue sees a group of heroes. What's left? Post Dark Crisis or in the midst of Dark Crisis. We've got 2 Swamp Things. We've got Raven. We've got Wonder Girl. What's her name? Yada Flores.
Yada Flores.
Yeah, we've got John Kent, Nightwing, and Constantine. Oh, and how can I forget his name?
Jade and Obsidian.
Jade Obsidian, but also
Doctor
Fate, and Green Lantern. So they're all basically trying to figure out what the hell's going on. They want to interact with the Great Darkness. And so they're going to go into the Lantern Ring and trap it all in there to figure out what's happening. Go ahead, Tyler.
I got a big gripe with this. As you name this team, if you have a Magic event, don't bring Superman. Like we know, like it is. Everyone knows Superman's like other kryptonite is magic. Like stop that shit. That's a dumb idea. Bad move.
I don't hate that part. I like it when Superman fights magic. I just
Did he though in this? He didn't even do that.
no, he didn't.
Fight.
He was irrelevant.
Yeah,
He fucking didn't.
No,
until later. At first he was. Later he did things.
If you want to talk irrelevant, Alec Holland, he shows up in this as Swamp Thing, gets sucked into the ring, and then Levi's like, "Well, he can't show up here." What'd you bring him for?
He's got no body.
Yeah. It's like a good Mitski song.
That was odd. I didn't hate this. I want to say that. I didn't hate this. I found things to enjoy because and it's hard to know who to attribute what to. And I hate that about comics like this where there's so many creators involved and all that. Like I wish I knew who to say did what. But I did like some of the character exploration. I haven't read a comic book with Raven as a relevant person, probably ever. So it was cool to see her, although I felt like sometimes her dialogue didn't fit what I think she's supposed to be. Isn't she like a younger person? Like
she goes back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Like the Teen Titans or even like Titans Raven is not really comic Raven.
Oh, so she's not a kid.
No, she's like Nightwing's age. Like she was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so then that's not a gripe. Then that's just my lack of knowledge. But I liked her anyways. I thought she was really cool. I liked the way that she was kind of the one who had to, keep Superman and Swamp Thing at bay because they were clearly being infected. But she's used to this, so I thought she was well utilized. I found myself a little bit annoyed at Swamp Thing. Like he's just there talking trash. So was Superman, quite frankly.
Yeah,
well,
for the first half of the book.
Yeah, oh, it's more than that.
Like they instantly just got so pissed off and started trying to kill Raven, and it was okay, but it lasted a long time. I thought
it was a great way of putting me into the book because I was mad I was reading this.
Oh boy.
Can I give it one thing?
Yeah.
I believe it's the Bayless art that's in the beginning. I liked a lot.
Yeah.
That first scene where they're kind of like getting the crew together and they're in the underground of the Justice League. I don't know if you guys read Justice League Dark, the Ron V stuff. Very good. But I like the art on that. And then as soon as I got away from it, I'm like, oh, God damn it. I was enjoying something about this.
And I think that this probably exists because DC is their next big event is magic based. They've been pretty open about that. Like that's where things are headed. So it makes sense that these characters would have a part to play. Not that all of these characters are magic based, but it makes sense that they'd have some part to play. I just wish. Okay, so ultimately, all that happens here is they go and get that machine, Pariah's machine that he created that started the first crisis, and I guess has some involvement here. It was stuck, and they brought it out. They took it with them out into the real world. But that's kind of it. And given that hasn't been a factor literally one time, to my recollection, in Dark Crisis, it makes this moment feel irrelevant.
What did they even... What was their goal with it in Dark Crisis?
They don't say
they
yet.
got it. Sorry?
They don't say what the goal is with it. Superman just shows up and he's like, hey, I got this thing. They're like,
it.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Editor's note.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no plan for it yet.
Also, I don't ever want to read about fire and brightness and darkness and light and like ever again.
Bro,
like, oh,
can I read this
Yes.
line from Obsidian. I don't know if it's the same one you're thinking of, but this bugged me so much, and it's what started to drive me crazy about Swamp Thing. I'm flooding him with nightmares. Every moment of panic when you think about losing what's dear to you, every dark thought that comes to you at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep, he's feeling a lifetime of that all at once.
Heavy.
Whoa, bro.
For me, it was more like what Jade and Obsidian were talking about with like all that darkness and light stuff. Like, so here we go. I'm gonna read a little bit. This is Jade speaking. All the light in the world, all the fires of civilization, they don't make the darkness any less. They might hide it, it might comfort us, but the truth at the heart of it is always the same. When it comes down to it, there's only us against the dark. We have to sit there together, back to back in the night, and trust that we're enough when the fire goes out. We're here, Dad, and we'll be here when the fire goes out. Let them dim.
Guys, you're gonna make us lose viewers. Just doing this.
I can't. Like, I can't do it. One genuine praise, which I already gave it a little praise. Another praise I'll give it, though, is that I liked Constantine's conversation with the Great Darkness, which I guess manifested itself as the devil or something along those lines.
Try it.
Lucifer.
Like actual Lucifer?
Yeah, because Dan Waters wrote a Lucifer book. So I was like seeing his name in here. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And that was Lucifer tempting him with different, it was the Upside Down Man and a Trigon.
Mm-hmm. But how did he get there?
You're asking me to explain this book.
I just assumed it was.
I don't know.
I just thought it was the Great Darkness.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it's the embodiment of the darkness.
And it told him, like, that's how they know that the darkness is corrupted, I thought. Didn't it tell him some relevant information?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I enjoyed that part in any event. I thought that was cool, seeing Constantine be tempted with all this stuff and kind of just being like, I don't give a damn about any of this. I enjoyed that part.
I like Constantine, which actually you're going to talk about that later. So,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, I sure am.
And guess who's not here to hear about it?
Yeah. Wow, big shot.
He'll hear it.
Wait, why is he not here?
It's Wednesday. You know what that means. Capitalism is no.
That was last week.
He's getting fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna have to pass.
Yeah, hard pass. You kidding me? The price tag alone.
Yeah.
Is this a Christian Ward cover? I will say the cover's cool.
It's a nice cover.
Yeah, it's good looking. But but then you see the price on it, and then no, I'm good.
Oh yeah, it might be actually.
And shouldn't it be called Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Deadly Green?
Yes, they got it wrong.
Come on.
And also,
yeah, go ahead.
This Superman merges with Swamp Thing.
He doesn't do anything cool with it.
So he does it with Green Lantern. He's going to do it with Superman now. Let's just murder his parents. He'll do it with Batman too.
His dad didn't his dad get murdered?
He's halfway there.
Yeah.
I get it. I thought that moment was a little bit cool, but I just was like, wait, hold on. How? Oh yeah, that's right. John's part human, because he said I'm merging with the human part of you. I was like, wait, what? Isn't he Kryptonian? But right, he's Lois Lane's his mom. Like, I just had to think so much about these characters in that moment that by the time I figured it all out, I was just like, okay, great.
Cool. You have Superman is Krakoan Forge armor now. Cool.
And how come that worked? How come Raven just telling them, hey guys, you're messed up?
Stop asking how.
All right.
There is no how, because there's no why, there's no what, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Besides darkness.
And we are the light, Tyler. and we are the light that will light the way to get us out of talking about this comic book and talking about Spider-Man #1.
Talk about my book of the week.
Oh,
right
God.
Really? Okay.
I guess we collectively didn't have the best time reading comics this week. So before we talk about why we liked or didn't like this particular book, I do want to say the creative team. So we've got Dan Slott returning once again, if you can believe that, to Spider-Man, to tell at least a piece of a Spider-Man event, End of the Spider-Verse. Mark Bagley on pencils, John Dell did the inks, and Edgar Delgado on colors. So this issue kicks off with things that might strike you weird. Spider-Man working for Norman. Spider-Man back to having his armor, his tech suit, the little
Dan
spider
Slott
buddy.
thing.
Yeah. That was weird.
Is this supposed to be what happened in the 6 months or whatever?
No. It's another thing. It's
Oh,
coincided with Amazing Spider-Man.
I hate comics. Why are we here? I don't want to do this anymore. I quit.
Well, Kale, come on. This is
All right.
Bagley drawing Spider-Man.
Don't fucking start, Mark Bagley. Mark can't draw his way out of a paper Bagley.
Oh no, that's not nice.
That was a pretty
Yeah, you're
decent.
I loved
fun
this
there,
issue from an art perspective.
Dude, I think Bagley's Peter Parker is like definitive for me.
No,
In
nuts.
general,
Y'all ain't
yes.
got eyes.
I got
Listen.
3 of them. My third eye open, Kale.
There you
Ugh.
go.
Stay woke.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the new character designs here were really cool. Like Shathra, the who appears to be one of the villains of this piece. I really like that design. We got the return of Moreland, who has become a character that. Go ahead.
Just the Rhino. It's just all Moreland is now. Just show up for whatever.
People like Moreland though.
I like his hair. His hair looking good.
Look at those thighs, dude.
Yo.
Crazy.
Yeah, those thigh highs, man.
Slay.
They be
Slay.
doing favors.
I like how when he first steps out of the portal, like he leads with his thighs and his his boots, the thigh high boots. Like
Steps
that's
into the club purse first, you know.
the first thing about this book is that like Dan Slott's Spider-Man dialogue is so on point. Like it's just the right amount of snappy, it's the right amount of jokey. He manages to always slide those tidbits of moments that you care about. Like when Spider-Man rescues the mom and kid, and I really like that little bit there. I'm on record as not liking the Spider-Verse. I don't care about
As a
it.
concept.
Yeah. You give me Peter Parker defending New York from, the villains, and I'm all in. But once you get into like spider totems and you get into other dimensions and all that, like I'm off. So this whole event is not for me at all. But this one issue I really liked.
I've learned to like the Spider-Verse as a thing. I don't care much for the idea of like the totems being a thing.
Yeah.
Or like the inheritors or these people searching for these totems and using their life essence to maintain their beautiful locks. Like that I don't care much for, but the idea of the Spider-Verse I like. That it's like this archetype that exists everywhere in the multiverse. I enjoy that. I'm kind of getting the part I don't like in this, but there's an interesting twist on it. I mean, can we spoil the twist? It's a spoiler show, right?
Yeah, it's full spoilers. If you don't want to hear the spoilers, skip ahead 30 seconds.
The twist is Moreland's helping Spider-Man in this, and the Spider-Verse characters are fighting him. So,
total Terminator vibes.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Yeah. I like that. It was pretty transparent, but I liked it.
I didn't like what happens in this book.
Go ahead.
When I say don't like, I mean like I like this issue. It was my pick of the week. I didn't like it because something bad happens to Spider-Woman. I don't know what happens. There's no way they kill her off. There's no way. I say that, and then who knows? There could be a fucking way. But yeah, I was like, oh no, that's like one of my top 10 characters. Don't do that, please.
Wow. I think if you would have asked me my top 10 Marvel characters in 2006, I would have had Spider-Woman on that list.
Oh, she's gotten even more. She's gotten even better since the mother arc.
Yeah,
Like
I was
actual
turned off by the
layers.
costume. I feel like they
She
did her
gets it back.
dirty.
She gets it back. It's fine.
Yeah.
Some good porcupine in that too.
What? Yeah, the Spider-Man noir fake out got me, actually.
Do you hear Nick Cage when you see Spider Noir now?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that he was the voice of him in the movie. I couldn't care less.
To be fair, my internal monologue is always Nick Cage, but that's just how I get through the day to day.
I'd rather not know that than know that about you, I think.
I used to sleep on a Nick Cage pillowcase.
I believe that.
Give me one more.
Mm,
One more Nick Cage related fact about you, Tyler.
I know that. Sean, did you know he's an Oscar-winning actor? Best actor, actually.
No, for what?
No, that's not what I asked for.
Specifically with me.
Yeah.
I had a Nick Cage COVID mask during the height of COVID. It got a lot of comments.
There
on
it
that.
is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Had all his famous faces, like the Wicker Man one with the bee cage. Not the bees. But
Yeah, I think this was great. I think if you like the Spider-Verse stuff, you'll probably find something in this event for you. Dan Slott rarely misses when it's Spider-Man. It's got those moments that you come to Dan Slott Spider-Man books for. It's got some stuff that has me confused. I don't understand the Norman Peter angle at all, but I don't think we're supposed to.
we're getting
I was
Gold Goblin
curious
soon.
Yeah, I was curious to see what's going to happen with Shathra, but I know that I'm never going to read another issue of this run. Like this
Yo.
event, I'm just not going to do it.
I thought that was Lady Blackheart.
That would have been cool as shit.
I love Blackheart, man.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
Mephisto's son
Blackheart?
from the Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
I know Blackheart. Yeah. Who's Lady Blackheart?
Oh, I just thought it was a
Yeah.
female Blackheart.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This bugs me overall because it feels like the Spider-Verse again, or still. And now it's with the addition of Shathra, who now also has some giant cosmic significance. And to me, it just feels like rehashing over and over and over again. And I'm tired of it. I'm sure I'll be excited about the Spider-Verse again when the film comes out, but for now, I am very done with it.
It was supposed to be coming out in a month. Like I was like one of the original release dates, actually. Kind of wild though that this is the first time Slott and Bagley have worked together. At least on Spider-Man. I don't know if it's the first time they've ever worked together, but it was like a big deal. It was like, hey, these two have never crossed paths creatively.
That can't be true.
It's hard to believe, but
No, that was like one of the big selling points when they announced it. Like, these titans of Spider-Man finally joining forces to draw that new Miles Morales costume.
I would have liked to have seen Bagley drawing the OG suit.
Yeah.
Life story. Does it there.
Oh, right. Wait.
It gets the Miles.
Really?
Yeah.
Spider-Man life story?
It gets the Miles at the end there, yeah.
It gets 2 miles, but it's not that suit. It's a different one.
Oh, is it? I thought it was a more traditional take. Okay. Could be
wrong. This was my book of the week out of the books that we read for the show.
Tim. Are you gonna ask?
I guess
do you have to have one?
Yeah. Do I have to?
No, of course.
You just say Junkyard Joe again.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even read it, but yeah, that's what it is.
You didn't read that ever?
No, I did read it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just I didn't read it this week.
Yeah. It counts. Hey, it came out this week, so
true. It could be.
We would have read it for the show if we didn't get special access, and it would have been, all of our picks of the week. So,
I don't know about that. Maybe not the first issue. The reason I like it so much is because we got the chance to read ahead.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Wait, you would? I mean, you would have picked it over this crop, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got me there. All right.
So that's it for our book reviews this week. But the show's not over. We still have
another book review.
well, so we've got Comics Tag, which is a segment where one of the pals tags another one of the pals with a book to read, and that person has to come on the show the following week, traditionally, to essentially review the book that they read. Now, I was tagged by Marco, who is not here this week, and if you are new to us, you've never seen Marco.
He's like my
the guy's a
girlfriend in
ghost.
Canada. Yep, I broke Sean again. Yep.
There it is.
Yep. While he was drinking too, that was a
my
risky
God.
maneuver on my part.
That's funny. But Marco tagged me to read Hellblazer, John Constantine Hellblazer, number 1, or as many as I could get through. I got through number 1. This is by Cy Spurrier with art by Aaron Campbell, Jordi Belair, and who else is on the creative team? I think that's it.
I didn't even get to the Matias Bagara issues, which are so good.
Now, I knew I had read this before. I think I described it badly the last time we did the show, but I had read this already. It was on everybody's list of like best comics in 2019 or 2020, whatever. So I was like, let me see what all the hype was about. And I had read it at the time. I reread it for this, and I felt the exact same. I did not like it. The voice that Cy Spurrier has for these characters is not something that I will ever be able to get into. I can't get into the like British, Cockney,
Scouse.
Scouse?
It's the Liverpudlian accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't rock with that.
Sean, it's like Zach Gibson from NXT. If you
right.
Yeah, that's what I hear in my head.
I couldn't even let myself hear it in my head. For me, it's grating. It's just too much.
Yeah. Hey, try living here.
Listen, I would never choose that for myself. I can't. The Aaron Campbell is a genius and so talented, and I just love what he did in this book so much. Obviously, like the colors are so good and so dynamic. There's a lot of weird scenes in this book, and there's like colors that don't even necessarily make sense in the same space. Like the like there's like these whites, and then there's these purples and blacks, and it's all this different mess of stuff. And I really like that. I just wish I liked the dialogue more, but I can't get into it. For me, it's impenetrable.
Sean, refresh my memory on the first issue. Is that like the Santeria type shit? With like the guy with the
there's some weird shit. Yeah, there's some weird shit going on with like this dude who's got like I don't know if he's tattooed in his body, but he's got like all these lines running across his body, and they capture Swamp Thing and all this bullshit, man.
It's been a while.
I'm sorry, not Swamp Thing, Constantine.
Okay,
I've Swamp Thing.
I don't
really don't remember
Swamp Thing in this.
I don't know, man.
I wish you could stick with this because I'll be honest, Sean, it was a tough read for like the first 2 issues for me. And then as it kind of gets into it and you kind of stick with it and you kind of see like, oh, this is kind of it's kind of a Buffy thing where it's a monster week situation. And then different artists come in. There's a really fun Matias Bergara arc where there's like essentially going to be like Constantine's replacement shows up. And he's like a hipster. He's having avocado toasts. He has like a top knot. It's fun, and it's fun seeing that dynamic there. There's a weird thing where these like the elite of England are having an orgy against this giant, and they're like cut holes in him, and they fuck the holes in this giant. There's weird shit that happens in this. It's essentially the rich fucking England, quite literally. And
okay, I got it. Yeah.
It gets really good. I really enjoyed it. I kind of felt it got like somebody took a bat to the knees on it because there was that kind of overarching story about old Constantine in the background that
Yeah.
kind of gets quickly resolved towards the end there. But pretty well done either way. I really enjoy this. Figured I'd talk since Marco's not here.
Fair enough. I hope that I never get tagged with anything resembling this again.
I'm gonna find the issue that's good and tag you with it.
No, man. Let me have fun. Why do you guys always have to tag me with bullshit? Every time I get
you
tagged.
write so much stuff.
Yeah, okay, right. So let me read something again that I like.
All right, I'll find. Whenever it's my time, I'll find something you like. I got you. I know what you like. It's what I like.
Exactly. I'm gonna tag Marco with something good because that's what I do. Wait, should I tag? He's not even here.
Typically, our rule has been you can't tag someone who's not here.
God damn.
Typically,
man.
but
yeah, you're right.
we also run the show, so
that's true. He should have. He's not here. He should have homework. I'm tagging Marco to read the first 2 issues of New Avengers by Brian Bendis. That's the tag.
Some candy for him.
Yeah.
Some good candy.
Exactly.
Is that New Avengers? Is that Frank Cho? No, he did Mighty, right?
No,
that's
Finch.
Shit.
Finch.
Is it Finch?
Yes, Finch. Yep.
On the first one, okay.
I know the covers are at least Finch.
Yes.
Right that's seared into my memory.
Yes.
Insides they're Finch. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I obviously can't tag you guys with that, and I don't have a backup tag, so that's what I had. But
I think he'll enjoy that. And if he doesn't, well,
then he's fired.
Sean, he controls the money.
Damn, is that it?
Yes. Come on. We have to bond over something. And I think I'm drawing the line at New Avengers.
Been trying to get fired for 6 years. That's all.
Want to talk about Pals polls for next week?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So next week, I am pulling the final issue of Once and Future. This is Once and Future number 30 from Boom Studios. Guys, the fact that a book that the creative team is Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora, and Tamara Bonvillain, that's a crazy team, and it's flying under like so many people's radars. It's so good. It's just like mythology, specifically like British mythology. If you told that in a bombastic kind of Monster Hunter kind of story, it's really good. And it's been coming to close for a while. Like it's meant to end this way, and I'm excited for it. So
the thing that's always fascinated me about this book, and I haven't read any of it, is that Dan Mora is on this fantasy book.
You think a Dan Mora interior book would be like big news, like world's finest.
Yeah. Well, and just it's so not, I guess, what you think of when you think of fantasy.
It's not. Yeah.
His style or whatever. It's just so clear. It's so crisp.
I would also argue the actual what happens with the book is not what you normally think of when it comes to fantasy. This is very Arthurian lore. There's Arthurian lore here, and it gets weird. It's Gillen. So the idea of story. Kale, I think you'd like it, not only because the main character kind of looks like you.
You keep saying that.
Give it a look. And then I also want to check out Christopher Cantwell and Pascal Ferry on Namor the Submariner. Conquered Shores #1.
Wow, how did I not see that? That's crazy.
I feel like that came very quickly, like from announcement to coming out. But time is weird. Time is a weird soup. So
it's also a flat circle.
Yes.
Don't know if you heard.
It's a plate of soup.
Not a good receptacle for soup.
Yeah. What's next?
Next up, Kale, Batman versus Robin #2.
Do Sean first.
Is this how the order is? Sorry.
All right. Batman versus Robin #2. I am enjoying this. I'm really enjoying Mark Waid's return to DC. I want to see what's up with Damian. I want to see how the magic and junk is mixed up. Yeah, I'm here for it.
I also like this cover. It has to be like an homage to Batman and Robin, right? With that kind of
Yeah,
yellow.
to some degree, yeah.
That yellow just screams Morrison's Batman and Robin to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
And you also Adam the Beginning. This is boy, the creative team is interesting. Original idea by Osamu Tezuka, concept by Masami Yuki, and art by Tetsuro Kashara.
So I have an announcement.
Oh,
This is the book, one of the books that I have been lettering and teasing through the past few weeks on the main show. I lettered this book and I lettered the upcoming Common Writer Kuga books. They're both very good and very well lettered, if I can say so. I would appreciate it if you went and bought it. I have been paid for them, so it's not, a huge deal, but I'll get to do more. And that would be cool as shit.
I gotta say, Kel, you got your credits on a cool robot manga with a cat and a Common Writer book. How's that feel?
My man, if I don't get to do anything else, upset. Like I did,
cool.
when I took this opportunity, I said, it's a Common Writer book. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
if I don't get another comic ever again, I've done it.
Longtime
Wow.
listeners of the show will know, Kale, kind of a Common Writer fan.
I'm kind of a fan.
Yeah.
Adam is a book about two, I don't know, teens that build a kick-ass robot, and the first book is very it's a tournament, and the second book is like the second half of the tournament, and also high-speed chase with robots. And I'm lettering the third book as we speak.
Nice.
I do highly recommend it. The Tezuka art is really cool. And it goes cool places.
congratulations! That's amazing. And maybe we should do it on the show. You think we should?
Will that be a conflict of interest for me?
I mean, yeah, but
We'll have to talk to HR.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sean, you're picking up Batman Incorporated #1.
So listen, this is real simple. I see Ed Brisson's name on a comic book, I buy it.
That's not the simple I was expecting. I was expecting I see Batman Inc. I buy it.
Yeah.
That's actually not the case traditionally, because I feel like Batman Inc. hasn't always been interesting post Morrison, but Brisson's a name that to me means quality. So Batman Inc. is a part of the draw, but I would not be as inclined to buy this, and certainly not to, make it my pull for the week if Ed Brisson's name wasn't attached. So I'm really excited.
Thank you for the follow, Johan X Prime. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, making Venom pop up on the screen. We love that. Yeah. Venom from Marvel versus Capcom.
Nice. The logo for this Batman Incorporated looks good.
Pretty sick.
I will say some of my favorite, more recent characters are on here. I love Ghostmaker. It's a Tinian creation. Great. Clown Hunter, I'm still kind of on, but I don't know if you guys ever read the Knight and Squire mini. This is right after.
Yeah.
Can you? It was Paul
Cornell.
Paul Cornell? Yes, thank you, Cal. It was written by him. Fantastic. But now Squire is the new Knight, so seeing her back, one of my favorite lesser known DC characters. I love Knight.
Mine was the is he the Night Runner, the French one?
Yeah.
He's cool. I like him a lot.
And you know what? Batman doesn't need a multiverse to have a whole bunch of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's it
in the main Earth. Yeah, that's it, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to send us a book that you think we should read, if you want to make a recommendation, hit us up anywhere. Social media is fine. Discord is amazing. You can leave a comment on YouTube on this video. Anywhere that you can reach out to us, anywhere there's a comment box, you let us know what book you're looking forward to next week and that you think we should read. And we will consider it as we consider everybody's recommendations. I think we might need to employ a little bit more final say, but and thank you, Nihilist, for the recommendation as always. We will consider all books that you guys think we should read. So send those on over. Next week, this show will resume its normal live schedule of 6 p.m. every single Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/TheComicsPals. Once again, Sunday is when we're going to do our main show, 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. Definitely want to follow us on social media. We're going to post a ton of content. We'll let you guys know there when we're going to do the main show.
TikTok.
You'll get to TikTok. Yes, TikTok. Absolutely. You'll get to see all the interviews and stuff we're doing. You can kind of, if you're not going to Comic-Con, you can kind of go with us through social. So come hang out. It'll be fun. No, Kale, you don't think
Doesn't even sound like something I would want to do.
All right.
Wow, you don't want to hang out with us, Cal? Cal, I've never seen you in person, have I?
No, I guess we haven't.
No. It feels weird saying that, actually.
Is that true?
No, I guess we haven't. Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe. I know we've had to have been in spitting distance to each other. That much.
I don't think so, dog.
I
don't think so.
Did you work the booth at a certain company that we don't talk about?
Only in Philly. That first year we went to Philly is the only time I did it.
You
Yeah.
didn't work at New York Comic Con. Got it.
Right, because you weren't there yet for NYCC?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
That makes sense.
Oh, wow.
And then by the next NYCC, everything collapsed.
Yeah,
Got
that
it.
was fun.
Huh.
Where was I? Oh yeah, youtube.com/TheComicsPals. Subscribe for free, like the video, share with your friends. All that's free to do. Helps out a lot more than it costs you. Go watch or listen to the Blackest Night book club that we put out.
Yeah.
That is out everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Podbean, all that good stuff.
A little tidbit to that. Listen to it or watch it because Kale tells a nice personal story about how that book relates to his prom.
Did I tell Jeff that? I almost told Jeff that.
You didn't.
You didn't.
Oh,
No.
I'm very glad I didn't.
Oh, you can.
God.
You can reach out to him. You can now.
Maybe I'll say it for when we're working together.
There you go.
Patreon.com/TheComicsPals, where for as little as $3 a month, you can get access to our newsletter, and you get a lot of other cool stuff. So go on and check out our Patreon page. There's an exclusive show over there where we talk about whatever we feel like talking about. It's a really fun time. Go give that a listen. Thank you so much for listening. For Kale and Tyler, I'm Sean saying the Comics Pals are signing off. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you next week.